Alright, hello fellow Blotendos, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my name is Flair, and yes, today we are back with more Weiss Schwarz deck profiles. This time I'm going to do Vocaloids, more specifically, they one and only, Miku and Luka, which I actually ship, so I guess you can say. But the last one I did, Weiss Schwarz deck profile, it was pretty fun, and I wanted to do another one, and I was like, why not do one with the Vocaloids, more specifically Project Diva. It is a green and red deck, and one thing I want to mention is that this set is very old. Like, this is one of the very first Weiss Schwarz sets, I think, that came to the game. Let's talk about it. This was first known for the trial deck. It was originally a yellow-green, and it had the twins and Miku at the start, and boy, let's just say it doesn't really age up well if it were to fight one of the modern trial decks these days. There was a lot of vanilla cards in it, and yeah, I just upgraded it from there. I must admit, it wasn't cheap to upgrade it, because the older the cards get, the more rare, more expensive they get as well. So yeah, let me show you what I got. Once again, I have built this deck and have this deck in real life. First off is the Hatsune Miku kitty cat. She only has one ability, which is pretty dang handy, which is placed on the stage of the hand. Put the top card of the opponent's stock into the waiting room, and then choose a card of the opponent's waiting room, put it into stock. So normally, you would want to do this if for sure your opponent has a climax in the waiting room, right? And at least one stock. Swap them, and now your opponent pretty much has to force pay that one stock to get that climax back in the waiting room, right? I only run 2 over, because like I mentioned a little bit before, if you run more than 2, I think it's a bit overkill, because you just want to get this effect going at once. It is optional, yeah, but if you don't choose to do effect, it's a 2,500 level 0 beat stick, which is 500 less than a normal beat stick at level 0. You know what I mean? So yeah. Next we're gonna talk about the Hatsune Miku Magician. Now, talk about expensive. This card, when I bought it at the time, it was like over $40, man. And for good reason. It's because this deck really lacks a hand, but basically what this card does is that every time you activate an act ability, it gets you give one of your characters 500 power, which is okay. It just, a little boost, doesn't hurt no one. And then the real effect is the brainstorm. So it pays 1, you have the rest 2 characters, which kind of sucks. Again, it just shows you the age of this deck. Flip over 4 cards on top of the deck, put them in the waiting room, and for each card was revealed, search the deck for 1 music character, and then add it to hand. So yeah, pretty good brainstormer, especially if it hits. Sometimes it hits 1 too many. That's why searchers are the second best brainstormer, I say. The first is most likely the salvagers, but it is what it is. There's another brainstormer in here that we'll get to when we get to it. That is the worst brainstormer, I say. But basically, going back to this one, it's the second best for searchers. Hitting too many kind of sucks, because you gotta have a good size hand, but sometimes you just want to keep climaxes back in the deck, to cancel. That's pretty much more of a priority than searching for cards. That's why she's one of the good brainstormers. I think she's one of the only brainstormers that does this effect, at least at level 0. And yeah, that's pretty much all I want to say about it. Only 1 copy of it, because you technically only need 1, because she rests 2 characters, which is kind of a beefy cost. But yeah, there's her. Next is the card that we kept from the trial deck. She's an assist. It's a Miku. She's green color fix. For some odd reason, she has the plant trait, which is a little odd, but okay. It doesn't really matter, because she has the music trait, which this whole deck does. So gives 500 power. Again, all the characters do is in front of her, which again, it kind of shows you a bit of how old the deck is. because usually the cards these days, at least I feel like, you know, even trial decks, some cards just give 500 power globally. And this has to be cards in front, so they mess with that. And then the other one is an act ability. You pay 1 stock, you choose any characters. You can even be yourself if you really want to get 500 power, so you can spam this, right? Back in the day when it was just a trial deck, it was, you know, you would have to pay the stock because the trial deck ran the bag climax, and the bag is not the greatest, man, and it gives you extra stock, but wow, it's if it's another climax that you just double bagged yourself, double climaxed yourself just because you triggered it. So anyway, that's why this kind of ability exists, so you can just spam the 500 on the character. So yeah, it's a nice little decent buff. I kept it because, you know, to save money, because I already had the trial deck, right? And 500 boost would help, especially tag teaming with the brainstormer. And then the magician Miku would go out, add another 500. So boom, 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 little beef power. Yeah, there's that. Next, we're gonna talk about drop searcher. At level 0, again, Miku green. She only has 1 ability. When this card is placed on the stage, open your hand, you may pay the cost. If you do, search for a music character from your deck and then add it to your hand. So yeah, besides that, she just has 1500 beat state, but it's just alright. But like, you know, you paying 1 just to pretty much trade a card from your hand to the deck, from the deck to the hand, for another music character, and bit of a hand fix. And, you know, drop searchers like kind of a staple, a little less than brainstormers. I think brainstormers is a little bit more important than drop searchers, but yeah, she's there if you just need something from your hand. Like if you really want, I mean, I usually play her to grab my magician brainstormer as quickly as possible, because you're gonna need this brainstormer, man, for this deck. So yeah, bam, 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 and then from there, anything you want if you decide to do her effect, because, you know, it's optional. So there you go, there's that. Now we're finally going to talk about Luka, which is my personal favorite Vocaloid, because certain reasons. I mean, she's definitely bigger, if you know what I mean, than Miku in certain areas. So yeah, Luka, she's here. She represents red. This is a 2-color deck. So when she reverses a character on your opponent's board, you may pay 1 and put 1 card from your hand to the waiting room. If you do, choose a character in the waiting room, return it to the hand. So again, kind of like a reverse drop searcher, basically. Except it's on battle when your opponents become reversed, and her second ability also helps with that. It just kind of sucks that she's at 1500 power. It's kind of asking a lot for a level 0 to reverse someone with that kind of power level. But this is why. For the second ability, it's an act, so it's optional. Rest 1 of the music characters, it just gets 1000 power to enter. So this could be spammed. So if you have 2 of the pansy Mikus, yes, that's what it's called, pansy. So the Mikus in the back row, you can rest both of them for free, basically, right? Give her like 2k power, and then if she's in the center middle, because, you know, 500 in front, that's another 1000. So 25, 35 to potentially reverse to level 0. I mean, most level 0s don't really survive that, especially ones that want to get reversed. Your opponent wants to get reversed. So yeah, you might give your opponent an advantage depending on the level 0, or if it's just another level 0 stock bomb or whatever kick. That's fine if you are cool with it. Just, you pay the 1 once you reverse it, ditch a card, and then salvage a card in the waiting room, add it to hand. So besides that, she's just a beat stick, but she's also a red color fix. So yeah, a 4 of, because again, it's optional, that effect. Besides that, she's just there to be a body to either take the damage, reduce the soul, or deal damage, you know. Nice little level 0 for you. So yeah, next is one of my personal favorite cards, art-wise, I guess you could say, for, I think, obvious reasons. It's another Luka. She's red, of course. Resort Bikini Luka. This card attacks, shoot up to 2 young music characters, and those characters get 500 plus power to the end of the turn. So, it's okay. She could choose herself with that first ability. Obviously the others might need it more because her second ability is why I run her. Max copy, as you can see, 4. So yeah, the 500 buff is okay, especially if you run more and then they attack, you just kind of stack it, I guess. For the second ability, this is why you don't really want to buff yourself as much. This card becomes reverse. If this card battle point is level 0 or lower, you may reverse that character. So she's a level 0 bomb. She reverses level 0s, which can be problematic for the opponent depending. So if they have like an oversized 4k level 0 beat stick, she could just crash into them and then reverse that big old card. Especially helpful in the early game. Get rid of those pesky, annoying level 0s that have like, I don't know, a hand on core, or again, oversizers, clean cuts, etc, etc. If they generate stock, or if you need that level 0, they need that level 0 to resonate. Next is the Witch Luka. Again, red. This is the other brainstormer that I briefly mentioned before. First of all, for some odd reason, she has hand on core. Again, in a deck that kind of struggles to keep hand consistency throughout the game, especially the early game. Like, I don't get why, but I guess we'll take it. She's mainly kind of sent in the backstage anyway because she's a brainstormer, and when I was talking about this brainstormer, it's the worst one, but it is what it is. It's a power brainstormer, so you pay 1, you remove the top 4 cards of your deck, and you put them in the waiting room, and each climax you hit, give one of your characters 2k power. So that can be spammed again, just like this Pansy Miku. She doesn't need to be rested for this ability, thank goodness, because that would be really weird to rest character, pay 1 just to potentially give 2k power. Don't get me wrong, 2k power is a lot, but I usually play that ability if I have to pay out the stock, If there's a climax in there that I want out, I guess I can attempt to do it. And then the hand on core is okay. She's just kind of there in the back row to help with this Miku brainstormer to be rested, to get that Miku effect to go into brainstorm potentially. And so yeah, because her brainstormer doesn't require to rest anyone. So yeah, that's why I rather choose a bit of a color fix for red as well. So there you go, level 0. Okay, finally to be able to get to the ones. Another card we kept for the trial deck, but then again I had to buy 1 extra copy because they gave you only 1 copy of this card in the trial deck. But personally, I think this is the best card in the trial deck. Act ability is that she rests herself and she gives a character 1000 power, which is kind of crazy for a level 1, especially back in the day when this deck came out, the trial deck came out. Like that's crazy power for a level 1 to give just by resting yourself, which kind of sucks, but not really. For a deck that kind of rests characters for this brainstormer to kick off. But anyway, and she's also a 500 assist. Again, shows you the age of the deck. 500 plus power only in front of the card, not globally, which kind of sucks for a level 1. You would think it'd be a little bit better. Gaming power, at least 1000 like in the sentimental stage or something like that, but whatever. The second ability kind of makes up for it, and it's free to play as long as you have green. No stock required. So yeah, just wanted to bump this +1 from the trial deck. And speaking of trial deck cards, again another trial deck card, green Hatsune Miku. This one does cost a stock to play, but somewhat of a good reason, again, especially back in the day. Hand on core, and she's a bit of an oversized level 1, so 6500 power for a level 1. It's pretty dang beefy. So again, back in the day. And then the hand on core is okay, but I kind of just play here to pay out the stock and to hand on core. So it doesn't have to be used all the time. Giving the power from the back row stages of the characters, like the Pansy Miku, and then the little 500 buff of the Magician Miku, the level 1 Miku, buffer them up can help you get over even level 2s at some point if they really are problematic. But yeah, the hand encore is sometimes nice. That's that. Next is more Miku. And speaking of encore, this is the other encore I want to talk about. Honestly, I was considering running a foil of this card because she's free to play. She doesn't cost a stock, right? You just need green to play her, obviously. And then she has the other encore where you put the top card of your deck into your clock. So that's a hit and miss. So again, you save your hand, which is big for this deck. You save your hand. You don't discard nothing when she gets reversed, or you have crashed into something, backups, etc., etc. But the top deck to clock encore is a risk, because obviously there's that chance you can hit a climax into your clock, which does suck. But hey, you got a body for it next turn, right? You still got a body on board. So yeah, she's kind of a green fix level 1 type card. That's why I don't really run 4 of, because the hand kind of helps if I want to save on stock ish. So to play her down, she's free to do, no stock required. Just if you hit there, encore is there, and it is optional if you decide to do it. Again, it's up to you, it's a risk, but that's why I put up 2 of it, not too many of it. Next, we go into red. 2 of this Miku, and one of the only red Miku cards, surprisingly. Basically, what this card does, she does cost a stock, yeah, which kind of sucks, but hear me out. She's a little bit of a level 1 oversizer, 7k, and then if this card battles, the opponent cannot. Actually, both players cannot play backups from the hand. So that's why, if you noticed a bit, there is no backups in this deck. People are playing a lot more backups these days, and this card just kind of shuts it down. Again, it's only when this card battles, which is a bit of a letdown, but I kind of wish it was like like an assist or something of some sort to like back row. Give this character the ability to, when this card just battles in general, or vice versa, if it's the opponent's turn and he or she battles that card, they shut down events or backups or whatever. So yeah, I only run 2 of it because she's kind of expensive. To play 1 stock is a bit much for a red card that just shuts down backups for both players. It's okay, and she's oversized. That's why I only run 2 of it. I was even thinking of running 1, but again, everyone's playing backup these days, so she just kind of guarantees that, like, just for that 1 battle, no backups. Alright, next is our level 1 climax combo. I know it doesn't really display the CX combo on the card, but she does have a climax combo, and it's only the effect that she has. It's an auto. She's also red. Red color fix, free to play, and the climax combo is the Luka Night Fever, which we'll get to that once we do. Pay 1 stock when this card attacks. If Luka Night Fever is in the climax area, you may pay the cost, which is 1 stock. If you do, choose up to 2 characters with the name Luka in its card name. Okay, return them to the hand, and then choose what card to put in the random. So you basically you plus in 1 off of this effect. It is on attack, so you don't have to reverse, which is pretty nice. But the discarding kind of sucks, but then again, I am running gold bar. So having too many of the gold bars climaxes in hand can pretty much help with this. You can discard it, refresh, have a better deck state when that happens. It kind of sucks that it's only locked into the name. I kind of get why, because of the song Luka Night Fever, right? Or multiple Lukas. But if it was 2 music characters in general, I mean, maybe it might be more expensive to pay. Maybe it's 2 stock, ditch the card still, and then salvage 2. I don't know. But a free red level 1 off of a 2 soul red climax card is okay. It's alright. Payment wise, it's a little bit cheap to do this effect, but again, this deck struggles with hand. So just +1 off of a climax combo is okay, I guess you could say, but it's better than nothing, right? So yeah, you can set up for your end game, your level 2, or if you just need a bikini Luka or a floral Luka, you know. Speaking of Luka, next is this another level 1 red Luka. This one actually does cost a stock to play, but what she does is you pay another stock. Yeah, a little expensive, right? When this card battle board becomes reversed, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose a card in the opponent's ready room, put it on top of that opponent's deck. So there's a lot of manipulation in this deck. So we have the cat Miku that does the stock manipulation, right? And then we have a Luka from waiting room to deck manipulation, which is okay. I mean, I kind of wish it didn't cost a stock to do. Just reverse and then put the top card, the card of the waiting room on top of the deck. So like, attack order kind of matters here with cards like this. So you would attack with her first, and she gets pretty beefy, especially if any of these cards in the back row, right? She gets beefy, she reverses, right? And then you have to pay the stock, and then choose a card. Obviously not a climax, right? Put it on the top of the deck, and then swing with another character. Hit that one card at the top of the deck into the clock. It pretty much somewhat guarantees a 1 burn, if that makes sense, on attack, because you know what that top card is. If you just swing for 1 damage, you know, there you go, it burns for 1 basically. So yeah, that's why I run her. Again, I don't run more of her because there's only 2 copies I want in the deck, because the 1 stock and then +1 more stock when you actually do get the reverse off of her. It's a little much, but she's pretty beefy, 65, you know, with the buff again. So yeah, that's why there's only 2. Here we go, on to the level 2s. Now, this Miku obviously is a level 2. She got the stock. She is green, and she only has 1 ability, but it's a change ability, and it's the ability to change into a level 3 that actually heals, which was a big problem for the trial deck back then. Not a lot of trial decks, or I guess just cards in general back in the day when this set kind of came out. Not a lot of cards healed, especially not really ones that get changed into level 3 healers, right? So basically, it is a bit much for stock. That's why I keep talking about stock like it's expensive for this deck, which it kind of is now. You need 2 stock, okay? You need to ditch a card from hand, and this card needs to be sacrificed, basically. Put to the waiting room at the beginning of the climax phase. So that's her 1 only ability. You do that cost. You pay 2, you ditch a card, you put it to the waiting room, and you choose 1 Electron Diva Hatsune Miku in the waiting room, put on the stage that this card was on, the position. Which still does help, because the level 3 does state that if it's placed on the stage besides the hand, if it's placed on the stage by the change effect, it still heals, which is very, very nice. I like decks that do heal. I like level 3s that heal. Next is just another level 2 Miku. She's a level assist. She does cost 1 stock. She is green. She is also a climax swapper, which, yeah, the deck needs a climax swapper. I believe all decks do need a climax swapper. It just kind of sucks that she is a level 2 to get that climax swap going, right? So the reason why I mention that is because, like, usually climax swappers are level 0s, man. So like, you can climax swap as soon as the game begins. So pretty much, if you have the stock, usually costs a stock to do. Ditch the climax, pay 1, and then salvage another climax to add it to the hand. But for some reason, again, it just shows you the age of the deck. Yeah, you know, at least they have a climax swapper. Let's just put it that way. So yeah, there's that. I'm already talking about the second ability because that's how kind of important it is. But the first ability is a continuous. This is a level assist. All characters in front of this card get 5 out of power times their level. So next we have the other red Hatsune Miku. This was also a climax combo. When this card attacks, if the card name Worlds and Dance Hall, which again we get to all the climaxes, which we do, choose a character away and return to the hand. So it's for free. Basically, you have the climax combo. This card swings. You just add a character for the way with your hand, which is huge with this deck because it needs hand just to pretty much stay consistent and keep fighting, right? It just sucks that she costs 2 stock, man. Like, what? That's why there's only one of her, which is technically not realistic if you want to get the climax combos going, because honestly, climax combos, you want to get them off as much as humanly possible. But for a card like this, it's level 2, which is pretty dang late, just to pretty much challenge one character. Again, the deck needs hand, right? Especially for that hand encore Miku, right? But I believe she costs 2 stock is because she has 2 soul. That's why, again, I only run one of her, because if you ran more and you try field with her, yeah, you could do potentially a lot of damage, a lot of soul, but then again, it's a very high chance for your opponent to cancel that damage because you'd be swinging for like 3, 6, 9 at the all open lanes and you trigger and such, you know. So yeah, that's why I only play one of her. It is what it is. It's a double soul salvager basically on attack. There's that Miku. Next is the Luka, level 2 Luka. This one's one more copy than that level 2 Miku, and she is 1 soul. She does cost a stock. Again, red Luka, color fix. Climax combo. Again, if you have the worlds and dance hall, when this card attacks, you pay 1 stock. If you do, you may deal 1 damage, which I think is kind of crazy. A level 2 that's already burning. You don't really see that nowadays, I guess you can say. There's not a lot of level 2s these days that burn anymore. It's all about the level 3s that burn. Level 2 that already burns, yeah, it's just 1 damage, but then again, 1 damage is less chances for your opponent to cancel it. Paying 1 stock just to summon her out kind of sucks. It is what it is, but at least it's off of a climax that's the best trigger in the game, hence the red. So yeah, that's why I only run 2 of her. If I ran 2 more, or at least 1 more, I feel like the deck would be a bit out of balance. I could take out this Miku for the Luka, but again, this deck really struggles with hands, so yeah, it also kind of struggles with stock if you use and abuse the stock the whole game basically. So you got to be very careful how you spend your stock in this deck. Now we're going to talk about why I ran that level 2 Miku. This is the card that it changes into. It's very nice. It heals. Oh my gosh, thank goodness for that. At least it has a healer, this set. But besides the healing, she just gets 500 power. But when she's placed on the stage from the hand, this is the second ability. It's an auto, or by a change effect. You may put the target card of your clock as your weight. So you see what I mean? So it technically can heal at level 2. If you have the hand and stock for it, obviously you need 2 stock. You need a card in hand, and this card needs to be sacked to get this out, which is it's asking a lot. But then again, not a lot of decks heal a level 2 per se. Again, especially back in the day, I already have room to already put 2 in the deck. If I had put 4, I mean, it could work, but yeah. Sometimes just healing just doesn't work, man. Like, you need to just push for damage sometimes. So that's why there's only 2 of her. So this was another climax combo. So yeah, we have 3 climax combo. Technically 4. This is the Hatsune Miku Factory Tyrant. This card is very, very good. Green, when it's placed at the stage from hand, you draw up to 2 cards. And then discard 1. Which is, again, you plus 1 off of it. It just kind of sucks. You discard. It is what it is. But I also wish she healed. But then again, if she healed, she might lose some power. But this is why. So the second ability is the climax combo, which is Sadistic Music Factory. My goodness, that name. When this card battle, opponent becomes reverse. If the card named Sadistic Music Factory, Infinite Factory, I guess you could say, using the climax area, you may put that character into your opponent's clock. So it just, if it reverses, it clock shoots the card into the clock. Basically for free, but like obviously you gotta beat over it, which is kind of easy to do, if I'm going to be honest. You have all these Mikus, right? That power up. I mean, it's little 500s here and there, right? But then there's this level 1, you can just rest, give 1,000 power, and she's giving the assist. Or you could even do this Luka's Brainstorm, doing tempting buffer even more. There's these Lukas that on attack get 500. It's little boost, you know, here and there. And then there's also the climax itself, which gives another 1,000. So yeah, it's pretty easy to do. That's why I was going back. I want to go back to this real quick. That's why I kind of wish like she has an assist ability to like give others the ability to not let the opponent or both players, whatever, play backups, because then you pretty much secure this 1 damage basically. Clock shooting the card to the opponent's clocks. Yeah, that's why I run 3 of her. I did run her at 2 once upon a time, but it just wasn't enough. I wasn't seeing her enough. I always have the climax in hand because it's a treasure. It's gold bar. It's usually in your hand. Yeah, I kept getting the climax in hand. I don't really see enough of her, so I bumped her up to 3, and I think 3 is just good enough. I did 4. I would have to take out a level 3 or one of those level 2s, which the previous things mentioned. You know why at this point. So that's why 3 is good, I say. Okay, so next we're gonna talk about this Luka. If you have 3 or more music characters, again the old text music trait, she gets 1,000 power, which is okay. I just kind of, you know, wish it was 2 characters to give her that buff, but 1,000, it is what it is. At least it's constant. So you will have to get 2 characters in the back row, and plus, you know, another character usually to just get that 1,000 buff core, which is okay. And then the other ability, which is, it's a continuous. The character facing this card gets a -1 soul, so she kind of walls up. I did ran her at 2, but then again, like running more of her just isn't really worth it-ish, to be honest. And here's why. So for the third ability, pay 1 stock. When this card battle opponent becomes reversed, you may pay the cost. If you do, again, choose a card opponent's premium, put it on top of the deck. So it pretty much burns 1 and gets that guaranteed burn 1. It's like this Luka, just, you know, bigger in power and soul, I guess you could say. Okay, if I tri-filled with her, or at least had another copy of her on the board, and I know for a fact that one of those Lukas have to swing, get the reverse going, pay 1 stock, get that card in the way you're on top of the deck, right? Then you swing with her, and then you like trigger another copy of her, or you get this. It's like you overswing. So that 1 stock was basically for nothing, just to make your opponent forcibly cancel, I guess, if you say. So that's why I want to run one of it. You gotta overswing, man. So that's why I want to put it at 1. So now we're gonna talk about the Tyrant Factory climax combo of that Miku that I mentioned earlier. This one. It's just a treasure climax 1k1 gets 1,000 power, 1 soul when you play it during the climax phase. And then if you trigger it, you know, it goes to your hand, then you blind stock 1. Ability is pretty cool with this card. You're always going to have it in hand, but that's why it just didn't work out with just 2 copies, man. It's just always this card in the hand and just never enough Mikus to pull off the combo. So that's why I only do 3 of the treasure, because you don't want to have too many climaxes in hand also, because there's not really a way to ditch the climax per se. You just can only like swap it. So if they see this effect coming, they're gonna do the absolute best to make sure that character doesn't get reversed. So that's why, you know, I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket with this plan. So yeah, that's why there's only 3. It's a bit of a color fix, as you can see down there at the bottom. It's a split even, 50-50 basically, 25-25. That's why it color fix too. If I have one more unbalanced, so yeah, there's that. Here we are with the 2 soul now. Finally, red Luka Night Fever. This card's climax combo. Yeah, I only run 2 of these because, like, again, going back to this plan, climax combo ability is off of a 2 soul. Because my God, you're gonna overswing a lot, man. And even then, adding 2 of these and triggering them in the wrong times, I guess, it's just too much. Lastly, the end here, we have 3 of the door climax, the world and stands home. It's off of a door, which I consider to be the best climax trigger. You just +1 a character for the waiting room to the hand if you triggered, which is very, very good for a deck like this. Yeah, I only do 3 because it's off of level 2s. There's no level 3s in the set that climax come off of this, which kind of sucks, but at least they give you 2 options to do it, right? You can either salvage, right, off of this Miku, or you can just burn one by paying 1. Obviously, if you have this climax in the climax area. So yeah, that is it, guys. I call this the Mika deck. The OTP ship name, I guess you could say, the Miku and Luka. Again, struggles with hand, and you gotta be very, very mindful of how you spend your stock. Yeah, it almost makes me want to go back to the bag climax trigger just to get stock going, but like that didn't really work out. Walling up, you know, defense. This Luka can help with that, -1 soul, and then you have this healer here that can either be played at level 2. Again, mindful with the stock, or you know, just get stuffed in the hand, manipulate your opponent's stock and clock. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it, guys. So I hope you guys like it. Obviously, it's not the most competitive thing in the world. This is not for tournaments and stuff. This is just for fun. I just wanted to make a deck for both of the, you know, the Vocaloid, which is Hatsune Miku, I'm sure you know, and then Luka. I like Luka, and I might as well just combine them because I have a lot of Miku cards at the time when I bought the trial deck, so combine them both. And then here we are. So yeah, again, I hope you guys liked it. But yeah, that's it. That's pretty much all I want to say about it. I hope you guys like it. I may do more in the future because again, this was a lot of fun. I was just trying new things. So yeah, Flair is out. Peace out. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.